Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for January 27th, 2018. With your host, Peaceburger2448, and Wrap It Up Salon.
Hi.
I am slightly on the sick side. So I probably sound terrible. Ugh. I'm just going to be miserable for a few days.
It'll pass.
Also to be like slightly tired for the next couple days because of this. Especially with me taking meds. But anyway, tell me, what have you been playing these last couple weeks?
Honestly, not much outside of Breath of the Wild. And even with that, I've not really been playing it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've been playing it a whole bunch. I think most of the highlights I'm going to do for the month are probably going to be Breath of the Wild highlights. It's probably going to be like some of the ones I can think of off the top of my head are the surprise ball from behind the box of the pile of crates, me sneaking past the ball using stasis, me destroying one of the guards, like obliterating a guardian using all the stasis interrupts in the world. Because I think I have a really good fight with one of them using stasis interrupts. Let's see. Me bumbling my way into getting on top of the elephant. And also my joke about killing Windblight. Or my joke when I killed Windblight. My terrible, terrible joke. That's at least the ones I can think of off the top of my head. And also, may or may not be calling every time I call Rivali Falco, because I refuse to call him Rivali. It's like, no, you're fucking Falco. Shut up. You are Falco. There is no getting around this point. Outside that, I've been getting back in the Fates because I picked up the special edition for way cheaper than anyone reasonably should be selling that as. So I've been playing the Revelations part, which makes me go, maybe the Fates writing isn't the best writing in the world. Because essentially the Fates writing goes, okay, when you play Birthright or Conquest, you have to choose between one of the two families you've been a part of. And the other one is pissed off because of this, and you have to fight them throughout the rest of the game. And throughout the course, they pretty much die. Revelations goes, well, the reason that happened is because some asshole is controlling them, and if you try to tell them the truth because of a curse, you'll disappear. Which is why one of your main character or one of your main companions doesn't tell you any of this in either of the two campaigns. Yeah, but we realize Fates is not the best written one, which isn't surprising. Especially when they have to do this huge caveat in order to have the same kids thing that Awakening had, which had time travel in it. But Fates goes, we have kids units that you can use because time warp, alternate dimension stuff, so they get to grow up faster because reasons. It's stupid. But yeah, outside that, played Mario and Rabbids. Had it crash on me at the same point. It crashed on Ty.
Oh God.
Yep, which is like towards the end of the Rabbit Kong fight. So I had to redo that entire fight after you left. I actually think I did the fight better the second time around. Played more Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Really enjoying that. I think that's pretty much it. It's been a busy couple weeks at the school. Yeah. Anything else before we move on to articles?
Don't really think so.
All right. Well, first up, since it happened, it's been a few weeks since then. AGDQ ended up raising over $2 million. $2,263,508 to be specific for Prevent Cancer Foundation. It tops last year's donations by 40,000. So that is huge. And I guess we could talk about some of the runs we saw. Any notable runs you want to talk about?
I saw the broken Halo 5 one.
How'd you enjoy that broken Halo 5 one?
Yeah. Some of the mechanics they shouldn't have had in there.
It's almost like Halo 5 is probably the most broken Halo in terms of a speedrun.
I don't know about how 4 might have turned out.
Yeah, because I haven't seen a speedrun for 4.
Because that's
I
the
know
only
get ran
the one that's got bad tech in it that could sequence break.
Yeah. Although I did love how they got a Banshee in an area you're totally not supposed to have a Banshee. And I'm like, yeah, that's standard Halo practice.
Yep.
Just get a vehicle where you're not supposed to have it. Yeah, that's just standard Halo. That's not even speedrun tech. That's just Halo tech.
Yep. Because I do that all the time. You say no vehicle here? I say prove it. Trying to think of some others. I know I caught a few of them.
Did you catch the reverse boss order for Donkey Kong Country?
No, I didn't.
That is some task level nonsense that they are doing without tasks.
Huh.
But I think I described this to you before, I think, when I was playing Breath of the Wild. But to give a summary of how it works, essentially, they somehow glitch the game to where the game thinks both Kongs are out. And by picking up a barrel in a specific level and destroying that barrel and or taking a hit in a specific way and timing, and then dying in a bonus area that's right next to where they do this, it allows them to just warp to whatever level they want. But it's super specific on the timing. So if you're off, you might be ending up back in like World 1, 2, or like in World 4, 5, and not the world you want. So that's how they get around in order to do all the bosses in reverse order. Is this insane, nutty, just warping around using task level bullshit. Although it's not true reverse boss order because they can't do K-roll first. Because they can't. They can't get to K-roll first. but they ended up doing the rest of the bosses in reverse order. Yeah, trying to think. The RE7 run is fantastic and wonderful. I'm trying to think of some of the later. I didn't catch some of the later runs. Mass Effect is wonderful. As someone who's a fan of Mass Effect, it's like, oh, it's good to know that this game is a bit more broken than I thought it would be. Just finding out it's just like, oh, we can just go to Normandy. We just gotta like break out of bounds and then just follow somewhere, and we'll just land in the Normandy. It's okay. The Normandy's always there, underneath all the maps, because this is how things are laid out.
Well, didn't you know the quickest way to get to your ship is just to go under the ground?
It's more than just going underground. It's literally just busting out of boundaries and just walking around the void where the skybox is and just going, we're just going to fall here. And we're on the Normandy. And I think they always landed in the same spot on the Normandy, too. Which is even funnier. You just pop into the same, you just drop it at the same point every time. The Link to the Past randomizer is cool. Except I haven't played Link to the Past, so I was confused about who was leading. And also, like, I'm not sure what's going on in this run. But this still looks cool.
Well, that's something too that I've found out because of the nature of Link to the Past as well as Link Between Worlds, because essentially they're the same game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know someone's probably like, no, they're not. I know they're not the same game. They're essentially the same game. Mm-hmm. But the way both of those are set up, a randomizer run for Link to the Past really is going to be hard to follow in terms of a race sense. Because each player is going to have their own method to checking the chests they need.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can completely understand with not knowing the game how that can be even far more confusing.
Yeah, because they pick up an item like, wait, what does this do for them? Like, does it mean they go after a boss? Like, what do we do? I think the problem was they didn't explain like the end goal of, okay, we need this in order to win. I think that was the explanation that was missing. It was like, we do this,
and it was a swordless run too.
Yeah.
So it kind of boiled down to they needed certain weapons in order to beat certain bosses in somewhat of an order.
Mm-hmm. The two punch outs, one controller, one player was kind of amazing to watch, even though it's kind of cheating because he'll often be like essentially paused in one game while he's playing the other. But sometimes he would be fighting two bosses at the same time, which it's still amazing that he could do it because the games are different, the timings are different, the animations that he needs to look for are different. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going back and forth between two different complete sets of muscle memory I need and beating both games at almost the exact same time. I say almost because he actually beat Punch Out 1 first, and I think he beat the last two bosses of Punch Out 2 next.
But
yeah, this is really cool. The task bot for Super Monkey Ball is cool later on in it. Like, I wouldn't bother with the first few minutes of that. Just watch the later stuff, is when they get into the crazy nonsense they do for tasks. There's a Birth by Sleep run, but I'm not the biggest fan of Birth by Sleep these days, so I'm like, oh yeah, they did a speedrun. I didn't really watch it. It was kind of just there. Star Fox 2 was cool. And you know who the speedrun characters are?
Who?
The two that only exist in Star Fox 2.
That's funny.
It's literally just them. They are literally the best characters, and I find that hilarious. It's like, yeah, these two that only exist in this game, yeah, they're the best characters in Star Fox 2 by a mile. Like Fox and Falco are next, and then like Peppy and Slippy are like dead last. Like, don't even fucking bother with them. Apparently, the Superman 64 run was in fact a world record. I missed that part.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there, and I need to get caught up on some of it. I still haven't donated to a GDQ yet.
You'll have to break that at some point.
I know. I might do it at the next one. Well, we got to move on to some sad news. Because you remember Mitomo, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, say goodbye to Mitomo because it's ending on May 9th. So yeah, Nintendo is shutting. I can't say words today. Shutting down its first mobile game. Well then. There goes one way of earning things for my Nintendo reward stuff. That might be the only thing people use Vitobo for these days. I don't know. Did you ever use it?
I did a little bit, and then I was like, this ain't really what I wanted.
Well, in better news, and news that I called how the internet would feel about it, we had Nintendo Labo announced as a new peripheral-esque thing for the Switch. All right. Essentially, Nintendo Labo comes in two packages. One package is $70. The other package is $80. In one package, you get a bunch of cardboard things that build a whole bunch of variety of stuff for a video game to interact with. The other one lets you make a mech suit, essentially, out of cardboard. Because it's all cardboard. Nintendo Labo is all cardboard.
I kind of like the idea, though.
Yeah. And considering that like both of these include the game, and I'm gonna like take $60 off each of the price tags because of that, because $60 is like at least $60 is to the game. I'm gonna say that means like what, one's $10, the other is 20 for the peripherals, and that's not really that bad.
My issue, though, okay, you're taking 60 off for the game. Is the game going to be worth 60?
Sure, these are probably more like $30 games.
Because that's going to be the bad thing. If they give enough for a $60 game, then yeah, that's not bad. If it winds up being on par for a $30 or $40 game, youch.
I will say one thing they should do is crack open this software they were using for Labo and like let people have fun with this. Like give people like a Little Big Planet style game, and just be like, all right, go make stuff, go have fun with cardboard. I think they also have a replacement plan in place for this stuff, since it's cardboard. It's gonna take a beating, but it's easily repairable and even customizable. The website even talks about stuff to customize it. Oh, they even have a customization set that you can buy for like $10 that gives you stencils, stickers, and tape. And in just case you're wondering, both of these ended up being in the top 10 selling items on Amazon for a day. I think it was like the day after they were announced. So yeah, people buying this up.
I could see it. And part of me is like, I would be willing. But the other part of me is like, I want to know what we're getting out of the game.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, kids will eat this up, which is who the fuck this shit's for to start with.
True.
Like this is for your 6-year-old nephew who loves him some arts and crafts stuff. Or a kid who likes building stuff. Like, this is for kids. And I called the internet being, this isn't for me. And it's like, yeah, it's not. But nothing, asshole. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. This ain't for you to start with.
Well, and does anyone else realize this is fixing to be our foray into the AR/VR realm for the Switch?
Yep, even though the Switch really won't do VR stuff, I think.
Won't do true VR, but it could do AR.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I thought someone...
I got to thinking about that. The Switch has a USB-C port on the bottom of it. Something that is easily usable for other attachments.
Mm-hmm.
It would not be far-fetched for them to have like a goggle/camera setup that attached to it to where you could have AR experiences with games.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder if that was the thought process behind it from the start.
Yeah.
Because I do want to point out, I think the Switch is one of the few Nintendo consoles that doesn't have a miscellaneous port that's not used for anything. So,
yeah,
possible.
What's the middle port on the dock for? Or in the dock for?
Which middle port?
The one in between the HDMI port and the power port inside of it.
Oh, that's another USB port.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's labeled.
Oh. I didn't even realize that port was there until I tried plugging up my dock again. It was like, why is my HDMI cable not plugged in? Oh, it's because I plugged it in the wrong port. I didn't know there was a port here. Oops. It was either that or I was trying to plug in the power cord into it. And
Probably the power.
One. Yeah, I was trying to plug the power in there, and it's like, what?
Because if you were trying to put the HDMI in there, then yeah, I don't know what kind of magic you were trying to pull on that.
I was just trying to hook shit up because I had to move stuff because maintenance had to come in and change out air filters on the air conditioning. Which they didn't do it the day I moved everything. So I had to do all the moving of my desk and moving of stuff twice for them. And also they had to bend the air filters to make them fit in the air conditioning, which apparently is a bad thing. You're not supposed to do that.
Huh.
Well, good to know.
Well.
Yeah. Granted, it's the like cardboard framed ones, so those bend real easily. Get shoved in there. Yeah. Well, You ready for me to bitch about cross tag battle again?
Guess so.
All right. Well, who is this? Producer Toshimichi Mori came out to talk about the DLC. You know, the half the roster DLC for this game.
Yeah. The greed.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, the retail release of this game will be about $53. And apparently, when you buy the rest of the characters, it will then become $60. Like a normal full retail price game.
Then why not just package it as a normal retail game?
Especially when in theory, half that roster somehow equates to like $6-ish bucks. $6-7, right around there, right? Why are we locking half the roster behind $7? Half the roster, mind you, that'll probably be done in the 6 months time between like now and when the game comes out.
What's going to be
I
worse is when the game releases and all the character data is actually in the game for the other half of the fighters. And literally the $7 is just an unlock code to unlock the others.
Yeah, and how the fuck are only the 20 characters gonna totally cost like $7? There's no way. At this point, no. And even if you do, why? Like, why do this for $7? It's $7 fucking dollars. This is I this is just stupid. This is DLC stupid nonsense that is like somewhere in that like 10 worst DLC ideas ever that someone has to have had a list for at this point. Because this just sounds ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Hold on. It gets
What?
better.
Oh no.
There's a line in there that tells me a lot of information. I guess we won't know for sure until the DLC prices are confirmed.
Oh right, we don't know prices on the DLC yet.
So wait a minute. We're given the suggestion that the price point's around $53, with the idea of the DLC being about $7. He's pretty much priced it for us right there.
Yep.
So now when the DLC comes out and it's actually going to be like 15, that's no longer going to be about the same as a full retail game. Way to go. Way to go.
Well, I have a thing prepped on Infinite Looper that just sums up my feelings on this. Just perfectly.
You'll have to hold on a second here.
It autoplays.
You'll have to hold on a second here. Because I wasn't prepared. Big shock there.
Yep.
Someone didn't give me the information ahead of time.
To be fair, I wanted this to be a surprise. By the way, that's Kizna I a AI YouTuber. I think it's just a voice actress that's voicing some Miku Miku dance model. But it's the most adorable fuck you in the world. By the way, she's playing Resident Evil 7, which is why she's saying fuck you. But yeah, that sums up my feelings. It's just that on loop. It's just fuck you. Just fuck you. Fuck you. You are chock full of shit at this point. Piss off. And I love how someone in the comments pointed this out of like, if the DLC, along with the game, are going to be equivalent to the retail price of a normal game, why the fuck not just put it out as a normal retail price game with everything included?
Or, okay, say they had to force it as DLC. Say because they weren't going to have it ready when they were submitting it, they were going to have to do it as like a day one DLC that people could pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just package it as a whole thing? Tell people, okay, if you want the game that has half the characters, then you can pay $10 less. If you want the game with all the characters, you can buy this package instead that has the DLC included.
And also, why
I
the fuck are
mean,
you splitting up Ruby across this in the DLC? Like, why?
that's why I'm like, okay, if it's a case of they didn't have it done all the way by the time it came down to it and they had to finish it as DLC, why not do it that way?
That would be the case if this game was coming out at any point that's not 6 months from now. A game goes gold like a month maybe before it releases. That means they have 5 months to work on this game.
Mm-hmm.
5 months.
Well,
to make
a little over 4.
Yeah. A little over 4 months to make 2 new characters and translate over what 3, 6, 9, like 12 more characters? Or no, not 12. What was it? It was 2 plus 18 other characters from their other games, and then make 2 new characters because it's Blake and Yang. Because Blake's the first character of DLC, which we've already seen footage for. And we know the other 20 characters are going to be complete by the time Japan Evo comes around, which I think is right now. Because there's a demo with the 20 announced characters at Japan Evo right now. Like I said, that Keys Now video, that sums up my feelings. Fuck you. You're full of shit. You are chock full of shit. You have over 4 months to make the rest of these characters and have them ready for launch. And if you don't, fucking delay the game. You know what's even more astounding from all of this?
What?
You know what Arc System Works also made this year and is out right now and everyone loves?
What?
Dragon Ball Fighter Z. They made this wonderful game and everyone loves it. And what? I'm not sure I understand what the fuck happened here. Well, you know how Sony likes to hop in on the craze Nintendo usually starts?
Yeah.
Guess what they're doing this year?
Oh boy.
Not technically amiibos. For about $10 each, you can get one of 6 characters from various Sony franchises that do nothing. They're just statues. So we have the box art character from Bloodborne. Fuck is his name? I know he's from Tekken, but I can't think of his name. Heihachi from Tekken. Yeah, Heihachi from Tekken. One of the vehicles from Wipeout. Sackboy from Little Big Planet. Parappa the Rapper from Parappa the Rapper. And Crash Bandicoot from the recently released Insane Trilogy, which I believe that model is from to start with. And I see there's mention of God of War, even though there's no one from God of War here. Dad of War is not here. Article? Article? Are you you okay? Cause I don't see. Okay, Dad of War is in the gallery, but not in the video. Okay. But yeah, Kratos from Dad of War is also in the first wave of figures. So, since we're both Amiibo collectors, would you want to get any of these?
I think it's a cash grab.
Well, yeah, because Crash Bandicoot already came out in Skylanders.
True. Forgot about that.
And it's nearly the exact same model. And hell, you can even get shit, what's his name? The main villain? I can't think of the name.
Cortex.
Cortex. You can get Cortex in Skylanders because he also comes out in Skylanders. I think you can get him in a 2-pack literally, like right now. And considering all that shit's on like sale, yeah, you could probably get it for cheap. I was super
I hate
tempted.
myself for this.
What?
But I have a funny feeling that Activision right now is going, whoa!
I really love that dumb meme, by the way. I don't know what it is about that meme, but I love it.
I like it too, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I hate myself for that. Because that immediately popped in my head, and I'm like, I hate myself right now.
To be fair, it's fairly universal.
Did you mean to do that?
No. No, I did not. Yeah.
Well then. Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of tempted to be like, I could probably go to Skylanders, Crash, and Nefarious if I wanted, like, to make my Amiibo collection a little bit more diverse franchise-wise, but the only things here I'd be interested in is, like, Parappa and Sackboy. Because I have no connection to not F-Zero, Tekken, and Bloodborne. Because to be honest, Wipeout is our F-Zero replacement, from what I've seen.
Wouldn't necessarily say that. It is an F-Zero clone.
Yeah.
But Wipeout actually, if I'm not mistaken, originated around the same time F-Zero was big. So, I mean...
Well, considering it's getting more games than F-Zero is right now, yeah, it's scratching that itch for F-Zero fans.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wouldn't say it's its replacement, but it is at least an F-Zero clone.
Mm-hmm. There's an indie game that also is like doing what F-Zero did. I can't think of the name of it. I know like Mega G Wolf streamed it like a long time ago, but I can't think of it. But there's that as well. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's been a slow week.
Slow week at the office.
Mm-hmm. Oops. I never went back and fixed the text so I could actually read this stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
My bad.
Let me know when you fix it.
I fixed it.
Okay. Yeah. Oops.
It probably didn't help that I took a nap for an hour and a half nap today because I was tired and I wanted to be up for the show. So I took me a nap. That my dog almost wanted to interrupt me on, but I was up before he came charging in the door into my bedroom, demanding attention.
Attention! Pet me now.
Yeah, that is exactly how it is. He will literally steal stuff just to make you come after him, so you can give him attention.
You know what it is? Human, I want love. Give me love. Human, now. Fine, you like this more? Now you have to give me attention.
Yeah, I had a box of cold meds sitting on my bag. He literally just grabbed the box, walked into the living room, got onto the couch, and just dropped it right in front of him. And was just standing there waiting for me to come in.
You want the meds? You gotta pet me.
Yep. He just had the look of, what? I didn't do anything.
They were here. I totally didn't bring them out here.
Yep. All right. Releases. Kicking off on the 30th. We've got A Semblance for Xbox One, EA Sports UFC 3 Champions Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Railway Empire for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, The Diaries of Agent Silent Death for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, Call of Duty World War II, The Resistance for PlayStation 4, Cold Iron for PlayStation 4, PC, Dissidia, Final Fantasy NT for PlayStation 4. Actually looks pretty good from what I've seen. If you're a fan of the original Dissidias on PSP, I think you'll like this one. Even though the UI is a cluttered mess of nonsense. A literal cluttered mess of nonsense. Out of Ammo for PlayStation 4, Striker's Edge for PlayStation 4 PC, and Wolverblade for PlayStation 4 PC. And on the 31st, Wolverblade's coming out a day later on Xbox One.
Oh, so it's a PS4 PC timed exclusive, right?
By a day, yes. On the 1st of February, we have Her Majesty's Spiffing on the Switch, Island Flight Simulator on the Switch, Night in the Woods, Shiftlings Enhanced Edition, Skyforce Reloaded, and Steam World Dig for the Switch. On the 2nd, we have the regular edition of EA Sports UFC 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 5th, Super Mario 3D Land, Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds, and Ultimate NES Remix are getting re-released under the Nintendo Selects banner for 3DS. On the 6th, we have Dandara for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Marooners for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Mercenary Kings Reloaded Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Armored Warfare for PlayStation 4. And Shadow of the Colossus Special Edition for PlayStation 4. And I'm going to check real quick and see if this is the remake of it. Is this the remake? I think this is the remake of it. If so, holy fuck, go play this, because this is really fucking good. Like, do you know what Shadow of the Colossus is?
Nope.
Alright. It's from the people who made Team Ico, which made The Guardian. If you remember that one. That vaporware from E3 history.
I don't think I do right offhand.
Okay. Essentially, you are some kid who is trying to revive a friend, your girlfriend. I think it's left ambiguous on what your connection to this girl is. But in order to do it, you need to slay these giants. Now, these giants are like huge, humongous monsters that you have to platform puzzle solve your way up to their weak points. And we're talking like big, giant, two-legged titans, four-legged monsters, birds even, that are just huge and humongous, and the scale of Shadow of Colossus is insane. Like, let me see if I can get a picture to give a sense of like the scale you deal with. That'll work. Like that's the kind of scale we're looking at in this game.
Huh.
That little person's you on this giant flying creature. And you have to platform your way around to his weak points while not falling off and kill him. There's like 13 bosses in this game. So it's kind of more like a boss rush mode game, but it is supremely good and wonderful. And bear this in mind, this game came out on PlayStation 2. This was a PS2 game. And it still had this sense of scale. Like, imagine this on PlayStation 2. Like, it is insane what they pulled off with that little blah 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 blah, that little black box back in the day. And now that they have the PlayStation 4, and it's like, this game is amazing. I think it's going to be on my list of things I will play eventually, alongside like Final Fantasy 12. Because that's also on my list of things I need to play for PlayStation 4 at some point. Anyway, back to releases. On the 7th, we have Die for Xbox One, Little Triangle, and Pinstripe for Xbox One. On the 8th, we have Aegis Defenders for Switch and PC, Empyrean Cyberstorm for the Switch, Atomic Run Gun Jump Gun for the Switch, and Disc Jam for the Switch. And on the 9th, we've got Bleed 2 for Xbox One, Under Night in Birth, EXE Late for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and Vita. Seven Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia for PlayStation 4, and Dragon Quest Builders for the Switch. Sorry, I had to cough. I didn't move my mic in time. All right. That brings us to quick draws, and mine is going to go to the in-progress results for the Fire Emblem Heroes Choose Your Legends edition, or Choose Your Legends Round 2. I'm going to give a quick breakdown on what the hell this nonsense is. Essentially, Choose Your Legends, they did this back when the game was first coming out, and I think it went for 14 days?
I think so.
And you could choose any character from any of the Fire Emblem games. It didn't matter if they were hero or villain. Essentially, if they were named and had a unique portrait, they got to be picked. They were pickable. And they did this as a promotion for the game, and also to go the top units or the top pick characters from the male and female polls, essentially, because they divided it by gender, would get special costumes later on down in the release. A few months ago, they released the top 2 men and top 2 women that came out, which ended up being Lynn and Lucina for the women and Ike and Roy for the men. And the outfits they chose were essentially their costumes from their respective games. And they were wielding different weapons than they normally did, but I think for the most part, the weapons were thematic with either their class or their character. So, like, Ike is wielding his father's axe in his legend outfit. And Lucina is wielding a spear in hers because a spear is her secondary weapon in her promoted class. So, I guess for the anniversary, because the game has now been out for a year, we're doing this all over again. Only you have 7 days to vote. And the characters that got chosen before are off the ballot. So have fun choosing again. And these are the in-progress results as of like 2 days ago. And I think the event ends tomorrow at some point. Yeah, tomorrow at like 7-ish Pacific. Now, the results you see are in Japanese, but I have went through and found every single one of these characters, so I can give you an English list of all the characters. So, starting with the first picture, which gives us the top 20 women, and I assume it's still going to be top 2 men, top 2 women like they did before. So, and number 1 is Celica from Echoes, the recently released Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Number 2 is actually Camilla from Faith. Number 3 is Erica from Sacred Stones. 4th is Azura from Fates. 5th is Veronica from the mobile game itself, Fire Emblem Heroes. 6th is Micaiah from Radiant Dawn. 7 is Loki from Fire Emblem Heroes. 8 is Nino from Blazing Blade. 9th is Corrin from Fates. 10th is Tharja from Awakening. 11th is Cordelia from Awakening. 12th is Morgana from Awakening. 13th is Selkie from Fates. 14th is Naui from Awakening. 15th is Lilian from Binding Blade. 16th is Leviathan from Heroes. 17th is Nian from Blazing Blade. 18th is Mira from Sacred Stones. 19th is Mia from Radiant Dawn. And the 20th slot goes to Delta from Echoes. So I want to point out some of the kind of interesting things here. First off, all 3 of the bad guy female heroes or female characters from Heroes have made the top 20. All 3 of them. Not any of the good guy female characters. No, all 3 of the bad guy female characters have made the top 20. That's kind of insane, if you ask me. Secondly, Corrin, I think, is lower on the list than she was originally. And also is the only, also like female Robin's not here, which I'm not surprised. Celica topping out the list is crazy and insane and cool. And Micaiah is almost in the top 5, which is still insane sounding. Like, how is Micaiah this popular? And even though we don't have Robin, we do in fact have Robin's kid, because that's who Morgana is. And also, Mia is in the top 20. Holy shit. At least 2 Radiant, like Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn characters made the list. And now on the male side, a couple of these I'm not going to list the game on. You'll know who. But at number 1, we have a Hector from... move the list over a little bit so I can actually read it. Hector from Blazing Blade. Number 2 is Ethereum from Sacred Stones. 3rd is Marth from one of his games. I'm not sure which, because I believe that's 2 games listed there. 4th is Alm from Echoes. 5th is Reinhardt from 776. 6th is Chrom from Awakening. 7th is Robin from Awakening. 8th is Takumi from Fates. 9th is Marth again from one of his games. I'm not sure which. 10th is Lif from 776. 11th is Ryoma from Fates. 12th is Owen from Awakening. 13th is Elliewood, not Roy, in case you looked at that and went, that's Roy, isn't it? No, that's Elliewood. That's his father, who totally looks exactly like him. Shh, don't worry about it. 14th is Leo from Fates. 15th is Cliff from Echoes. 16th is Xander from Echoes. Or not Echoes, Fates. Bleh. 17th is Sigurd from Genealogy. 18th Keaton from Fates. 19th is Alphonse from Heroes. And 20th is Caden from Fates. And the third image shows Alphonse, I forgot her name, and Anna, and their overall position in the popularity poll. The girl's actually topping them out by 1 place over Alphonse, and Anna is somehow 79th, even though she has like the most possibilities of being picked because character repetition happens if you're in multiple games. But yeah, just some notes from the male side. Marth has 2 slots in the top 10, which might mean collectively he might top out Hector in Elfringham, I would think. Alm, again, is up there with Celica, which is surprising. Crom and Robin are really near each other. 776 is up here, but I think it's because those units are really good in Heroes. Elliewood is up here. A couple of animal units from Fates are in here. It's really surprising on the diversity. But yeah, I've been voting for all Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn characters, and I will continue to do so for the last day. I don't expect any of them to win. I got in. That's about all I'm gonna get. So yeah, that's pretty much mine. Tommy, you ready to talk about yours?
I guess so. Mine's kind of just a little plug about something that I'm hoping on gets finished and doesn't get pulled from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever thought of playing Mario inside Ocarina of Time?
No, but is weirdly enough, this is the second time I've heard about a little bit of crazy modding within 64 games. This
Yeah.
week, even?
Yeah, essentially this is Ocarina of Time built using Super Mario characters.
This is more than just characters.
Essentially, you know Super Mario Online?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same modder.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is more just the characters. This is like rebuilding like Ocarina of Time from the ground up using Mario physics and camera and controls from the looks of it. Like, holy shit. This is way more than just, oh, we're just gonna swap around. No, we done more than that.
And it looks like there is somewhat of a tech demo that he's got working because he's showing off quite a bit here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wait, you can pick up fire flowers?
It looked like it.
So it's
That's
using literally everything in terms of.
either a Fireflower costume or a
No, it was a
spawn.
fire flower because he threw a fireball.
Oh, I was about to say, there's a costume here, I think, that allows you to throw bombs. I think. That, or you could just drop bombs and then throw them. Or bombs, technically.
Yeah, you can throw bombs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is insane. Like, that's more than the one
Jeez.
it's more than the one I heard about before, which I think it was what, Mario characters in GoldenEye?
Probably.
I want to say it was Mario character. It was something. Someone put character skins of something in GoldenEye this past week, which was still fairly impressive. Oh, I do know people have
Jeez.
modded modded the bike in Breath of the Wild. Have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
Somebody replaced the model of the Master Cycle Zero with Sonic.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that one. I mean, Link's got to go fast.
Yeah, might as well get a ride from his buddy Sonic.
But yeah, so that's it for mine anyhow.
Mm-hmm. And that pretty much does it for the show, unless you want to talk about build for a half hour.
It's up to you.
I'm honestly surprised that the hard smash got turned into hazard smash in like 2 or 3 episodes. They've only been around for like 3 episodes and they're already in like a new form.
I am, but I'm not. I mean, it's one of those that I feel like we didn't even get an explanation of what the hard smashes are, and then they kind of go and just trump that too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like we probably could have skipped the hard smash part.
And then the hazard smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, as someone who has watched Kiva, it's weird to see Otoya as a kind of serious person. Although I'm like, yeah, him like fanboying out about Misaru and her internet personality. Yeah, that's Otoya right there. I can see the Otoya and his nonsense right there. Because that's just him all the time is Otoya in Kiva. Which I did see theories that there's more to it than that, but I highly doubt that. Especially at this point when they've clearly explained his backstory, and it's like, yeah, I doubt that. Then we got another trailer for Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger today. I'm still worried about this series. And it's only because Sentai has not been the best these last few seasons. Like Zoojer is probably the exception to that rule. It might have had a few things wrong with it, but like it was overall fairly good. But the other main part is we have 2 teams of 3 in the show. And a franchise right now that has a hard time spreading character development across an entire team, let alone 2 teams. And we have 2 Reds, which scares me because I feel like those Reds are going to get way more focused than everyone else on the team. And I also fear like one team is going to get more focused on the other because it almost, at least from the setup of the show, with the 2 teams chasing after the Lupin collection, which is just a collection of artifacts that Arsene Lupin stole. It seems like the Lupin Rangers have a far more like hard connection to the plot here than the Paddle Rangers do. Like the Lupin Rangers are the ones trying to, I believe in this trailer, like get back a friend of theirs by stealing back this collection. Whereas the Paddle Rangers are in this show because thieves and you are breaking the law, which doesn't feel as strong of a connection. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Paddle Rangers seem maybe kind of tacked on in this right now because they don't have a connection to the Lupin collection besides being cops trying to stop the thieves and the bad guys at the same time, even though the thieves are trying to do a good thing. Oh, we got a trailer for Kamen Rider Amazon's the movie, you know, because that's totally what I want to see is a movie on Amazon when I could give 2 shits about the entire fucking franchise of Amazons. Not Amazon, Amazons. the plural one that's super violent and gory, and I don't give a shit. I super don't give a shit. Ugh. I know there's new footage of what I assume is movie footage in that trailer, but it's like, God, I don't. When you have a end of the show that goes, all right, here's our big climactic battle between our 3 protagonists. Let's show them charging at each other and then cut away and go, yeah, they kind of killed the main character from this show, from this season off screen. So, yeah, bye everybody. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? Like, that's not good. You're building to the showdown between these 3 characters, and you don't give us the showdown? What the fuck's wrong with you? Who thinks that's a good thing? And if you're building to a twist, you better make damn sure that twist is good in this fucking movie, or else I don't give a fuck. We're getting a Night Rouge miniseries in the Blu-rays. For all those who love Gintoku as a character. As he's constantly getting his ass handed to him by Build right now.
Yeah.
I think he's literally been dethroned because his father has been woke the fuck back up by Misaru's surprise healing abilities. Because apparently they work on him too. So I guess she just has healing abilities in general? Maybe?
Question mark?
Yeah. So now Kintoku is out of command of Toto stuff. And he's revealed himself as Night Rouge to his father. Even though I thought that happened already. I might be wrong on that, but I don't think I am. I thought his father knew he was Night Rouge.
I don't know if he knew that part or not.
I'm like, I know you essentially got arrested and you were gonna get thrown out of office, but like, wasn't that because you got revealed as Night Rouge?
I don't think it was. I think it was because of the fact of everything else.
Okay. So yeah, he's officially revealed himself as Night Rouge. Which, yeah, he gets his ass into him by Build because fuck you, you haven't gotten an upgrade, and I'm on my 3rd main upgrade right now. Or 2nd main upgrade right now. 3rd main form. Have fun. And he just kicks his ass with Sparkling. Doesn't even bother with the hazard trigger for that. Gintoku's assistant is back alive because Stark. Because, of course, Stark would save him.
Yeah.
Hell, Stark gives Sento the hazard trigger fully made, and it's like, here you go, use it, have fun. Bye. Okay, I have to ask this. Do you think Ryuga's gonna get another form?
I don't know. It depends on how far they go with the hazard levels.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they do a hard cap at 5, probably not. This is probably going to be his last form, and he's just going to build hazard level up to that point. If they don't have a hard cap on it, then maybe we could see another form. But what? Because, I mean, the trans steam gun we know is even below build. So we couldn't do something with that. We know he's surpassed the build driver,
Mm-hmm.
so we can't go back to that and try to let him use 2 bottles or anything like that.
Even though theoretically he should be able to by now.
True, but I mean, we kind of can't go back to that.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I don't know where it could go.
Mm-hmm. I ask that because once more, it's shown that he's struggling with using Krall's charge. Like he essentially is forced out of it because he can't handle the power, even though he has a higher hazard level than Sento.
I think it's just because of the fact that the dragon bottle and now splash jelly is kind of just so overpowering.
Mm-hmm. Because Sento couldn't even use Key Dragon for that long.
Yeah, I mean, it was overpowering him even, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're the way the build driver's set up, he's not really fully using either bottle,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't see that using part of that power should have been overpowering him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has to be some kind of probably a plot hole with the dragon.
It might be a quirk because of how they got the dragon. Because the Dragon Full bottle came from Ryuga's girlfriend, who wasn't even a smash on the level with all the other smashes they've dealt with.
Yeah, but she was on a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anything, shouldn't it have been weaker instead of stronger?
True.
I mean, if we go on that aspect, then I would think that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the dragon full bottle plays a bigger part in the overall plot somehow.
Yeah.
And in turn, since the lock full bottle is its best match, more than likely both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just wondering if
That actually, you know what? That could be the upgrade for him. He could go back to the build driver and use Key Dragon.
yeah. Because I was just wondering if like he was gonna get a new form, or we're gonna have a dead heat situation where he's just stuck with dead heat for the rest of the series. And he just somehow masters it. Because that's what happened to Go.
I feel like that would fit him better, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe after he masters it, he could have, like, that last little form.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Go did with
Mock
Chaser.
Chaser.
Or, yeah, Mock
Mm-hmm.
Chaser.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have something throwback like that kind of deal. With
Mm-hmm.
maybe where he uses Key Dragon. I could maybe see something like that working better.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. True Ending is out in terms of Raws. It's not been subbed yet.
Hmm.
I think Poppy only shows up for the beginning battle.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't even get to be a part of the All Rider fight towards the end of the movie, which is a shame. Although there is a cool thing about the VRX form. Emu uses the gas hat as a paintbrush,
Hmm.
which I think is kind of cool.
That is different, anyhow.
Mm-hmm. It's like VRX doesn't have like any new weapons, but it does get him like drawing whatever he needs, even if it is fairly elaborate with the gas hat, which I think he only uses for one fight against Fumiya, which I think this movie is kind of split in half on its plot, where the first half of the movie is about them dealing with Fumiya's stuff, and then the second half is dealing with the actual bad guy who is Gem Deus Ex Machina. Literally, that's his name. It's like, fully committing to that. Fine. But yeah, it's the guy from that Dan made a deal with, or Masamune made a deal with in the show. And we never see anything come out of it. Yeah. It's because, instead of being an alternate timeline, no. That's all like post show. Because this movie takes place like a day after the end of the series. I also think Parad and Dan take a death and fake out death in the movie. I think I might be wrong on that.
Huh.
I think they fake out a death for the two of them. Is like, really? I know we've gotten the trick special that gives us Knockout Fighter 2. I think that's sub now. And that sets up another ending. Because it has Emu in Parad playing some game Dan came up with in order to rescue Poppy. They're not really playing Rescue Poppy. It's just a game the three of them are playing. And like, Poppy doesn't get to play. She was just outside the whole time. And it was just one big distraction so Dan could escape and then do the events of another ending. Which I don't remember when we're getting the first part of that. I think it's next month. I know the last part's in April. But I don't know when the first part is. Apparently we're not going to get a Q Ranger Zooja Cross, which is kind of sad because that means Zooja gets screwed out of having a crossover with the next team. But they don't have to be in the movie with Q Rangers, so I think I'm okay with that. Instead, I think Q Ranger are going to have a team up with the Space Squad stuff. So like the new Gavon, Deca Ranger, that stuff that came out a while back. Power Rangers had their new season of the Super Ninja Steel premiere today. I didn't watch it, but I heard it's terrible. Apparently, Power Ranger fans are really not happy with Rangers right now because it's been terrible. And I'm not surprised. It seemed like when Saban bought back Power Rangers, they didn't quite have everything in order to do it. It's been a slow, just downhill fall for Power Rangers since then. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right. In that case, in 2 weeks, we'll be back with whatever dumb news comes out for the industry. I know I get to say that Detective Pikachu is coming out on the next show because it comes out in like 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. I still can't believe we're getting it. I still can't believe it's a thing. I still can't believe we're getting a fucking amiibo that's twice the size of a regular amiibo with it.
Well, Detective Pikachu's big.
He's the size of a regular Pikachu.
Size isn't what I was meaning.
You know, my mom actually thought that Detective Pikachu was human-sized. Until I pulled up footage and be like, no, he's the normal size of a regular Pikachu. And she's like, oh, then how are they doing the movie? And I'm like, it'll probably just be a CG Pikachu. Played by Ryan goddamn Reynolds. Yeah, between now and then, I'll be streaming more Breath of the Wild, and since I'm taking my PlayStation 4 controller with me when I go back to the school, Azure Striker Gunvolt, because I would rather play that with a good controller and not my cheap ass $10 Logitech controller. Because that game requires precision. Man, anything you plan on streaming?
Not directly, but I should be trying to stream something while you're not streaming.
Alright. But yeah, you can check out our stuff on all the usual sources, the site, the YouTube, the Twitch, and the Twitter, and our respective Twitters if you are feeling frisky. And yeah, we'll see you next time, folks.